Your husband is what we call the volcano, and when I wrote the book High Maintenance Relationships, I dedicated a chapter to this style because, and this is scary, I got to tell you, this is a scary kind of pattern to live with.
We can be a little bit afraid of him as well as afraid, you know, for him too, because someone who can erupt with anger, I mean, it's almost like their emotions get hijacked and they're not sensible. And I got to tell you, traffic conditions can provoke that, sometimes in certain people more than any other condition.
Yeah, there's actually a little part in our brains called the amygdala where this happens, and researchers talk about it getting hijacked. That's a great term for that.
Where you're not rational and you begin to, the adrenaline's pumping and you do things you wouldn't choose to do because your emotions have taken over.
Right, and so what you have to do is train yourself to capture that thought, to not let it allow you to do some irrational things.
And you know what? He is not going to, it sounds like to him the problem is other bad drivers and not him. But I doubt that he's going to be able to face this without a little bit of help from someone.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got to have somebody speak into his life and get some help with managing that anger. Now, that may be a buddy. It doesn't have to be a professional, but somebody, depending on the severity of this, somebody's got to speak into his life and say, hey, man, you got to get yourself under control here.
And you've got to be vulnerable. Rather than going on the attack, I think you need to say to him, you know what, I'm scared. I'm scared for you, and I got to admit, I'm scared of you. The fact that you're carrying a baseball bat feels threatening to me, and it makes me feel uneasy, and I don't feel safe, and I need somehow for us to make a change.
Well, and the whole point is that if you're carrying that as a weapon, you're eventually going to use that. You know, that's why it's there, and so it just kind of tends to exacerbate the potential for damage. And so really invite somebody into this conversation with you guys to get some objective feedback for him. And of course, it's depending on how open he is to that feedback will determine the success of that kind of intervention.
You've got to set some pretty strong boundaries when it comes to anger violations.
Yeah, but don't let it go. This is too important of an issue just to kind of think it's going to take care of itself. It won't. You need to address it.